Hello, everyone. So today we have this question 150. Required. Which of the following is the budgeted machine setup cost per unit of product F? Per unit of product F. So we are looking at the cost per unit, the budgeted setup cost per unit of product F. So we have three products here, product E, F, and G. EFG uses an activity-based budgeting system. So they're using an activity-based budgeting system coming from activity-based costing. You know, activity-based costing, we need to identify the cost driver. So we calculate the cost driver rate. Okay. It manufactures three products, budgeted details of which are set up below. So this is the question we have, and we are asked to calculate the cost. Which of the following is the budgeted machine setup cost per unit? This is a past question. And this kind of question will take your time, will take your time in an exam. So please note. So let's go to the Word document and solve it. Okay, so this is the question. Now, we are asked to calculate the machine setup cost per unit. So we are only asked to calculate for machine setup cost. This one, machine setup cost, which you have 5, 3, and 9. So we have budgeted annual production in units. For all the products, we have batch size in brackets in units, batch size in units. And we have the machine setup cost. We are stuck there. If we are asked to calculate the purchases order per batch, then we can do purchase order per batch. Processing time per unit, we can do that. But for this question, we are asked to calculate the machine setup cost per batch. We have machine setup cost per batch. Remember, we have machine setup cost not per unit, per batch. So because we have machine setup cost per batch, and we have the batch size is in units. It's tricky a little bit. The batch size is in units, and the machine setup cost per batch. But we are asked to calculate the machine setup cost per unit for product F. It's a little bit tricky. All right. So now what we do, we first try to convert the machine setup cost per batch. So we have the budgeted annual production in units and the batch size. So for product F, so we have for E, F, and G. So guys, okay, now we bring our budgeted annual production and we bring our batch size. For both products, we have E, we have F, and we have G. For this one, we have 75,000 and 120,000 and 60,000. This is just from the question, copy from the question, budgeted annual production unit. And our batch size, we have 200, we have 60, and we have 30. These are our batch size. So what's the unit cost per batch? So the unit cost per batch now will be 75,000 divide by 200. This will give me 375. And 120,000 divide by 60. This will give me 2,000. And 60,000 divide by 30. This will give me 2,000 as well. So this is my first step, convert per batch, because we are calculating the machine setup cost per unit. But the machine setup cost in the question is per batch. So now we come to the question, what are the machine setup costs? For E, we have 5, 3, and 9. So for machine setup, we have how much? 5, 3, 9. 5, 3, and 9. So what this will give us now, we multiply. 2,000 at 9, this will give me 18,000. 18,000. And 2,000 at 3, 6,000. And 375 at 5, this will give me 1,875. So my total machine cost, we add all the three. We add this plus this and plus this, plus 6,000 plus 18,000. And this will give me 25,875. This is the machine setup cost. But our next step now is to calculate our cost driver rate. Our cost driver rate. So what's our machine setup cost? Our machine setup cost is 180,000. Look at this one. Machine setup cost 180,000. Okay. We divide 180,000 by the activity. The activity is machine setup, which is how much? 25,875. So now my machine, I will do that here. My machine setup cost is 180,000 divided by the answer I have now, which is 25,875. So what will be my rate per unit? My rate per unit now will be 25,875. This will give me 6.96 per unit. Okay. Driver rate. Our rate now is 6.96 per unit. Okay. How we are looking for product F. So what is the machine setup cost per batch of product F is how much? Is 3. Product F is how much? Is 3. Is 3. Okay. So we apply the rates at 3. So therefore, we'll have the rate, which is how much? 6.9565 multiplied by 3. This will give me, multiplied by 3, this will give me 20.86956522. This is the machine setup cost. But we are at per unit. Per unit. So how many units we have in the question now? Batch size per unit, how much? Is 60. Is 60. So we'll divide this by 60. So that will be our answer. So therefore, our machine setup cost per unit would be 0.35. 0.35. This is our answer. So let's see the multiple choice question. 0.35. So our answer here is B. So our answer. Okay, if you need more practice on this one, don't hesitate to contact me. This is, if you have the concept of activity-based costing, then it will be easy for you. All right then, have a good day.